Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, XiaoKai versus HawK. This game taking place here on Last Refuge. Let's go ahead and, track things as HawK opens up with an Altar of Kings, followed by a quick farm just for city planning purposes and a quick barracks. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we are looking at XiaoKai spawning under the name... I'm not going to even try. Well, I guess I did try. So I'm going to barely even try and just call him XiaoKai throughout the rest of the match. Altar of Storms, Barracks, and a Burrow. We could be looking at Farseer or Blade Master coming in alongside Grunts, as I don't see a War Mill as of yet. All right, we should be looking at some sort of Archmage timing. Archmage Mountain King, a very distant second here on the Last Refuge, as HawK continued to just build things up here. Am I going to be proven wrong? No, I am not. It is going to be an Archmage going up against a Farseer. So Farseer, Lone Grunt, there's that War Mill. It will be a transition into Headhunters and maybe perhaps eventually Berserkers. 15/21 supply now. We'll keep a close eye on a second Orc Burrow or a quick tech to tier 2 as options for XiaoKai. Meanwhile, HawK off to the north here should continue to build more and more farms, and we'll have to keep track of, well, how many peasants he trains up. If he stops at 13, well, he's most likely not going to be trying to do any expansion. But if he goes on to 16 or 17 or eventually 18, we know that that is definitely expansion-based territory. Archmage about to pop on out here in just a moment. We do not see that second... Oh, nope, there's that second Burrow. I take it back. It will be more and more grunts into Headhunters eventually. I'm surprised at the number of peons. We're actually short 2 peons than what I was expecting, especially if we are going to be cranking out Headhunters at tier 1. We'll have to keep track on XiaoKai and his quest to tech to tier 2. Meanwhile, HawK already trying to clear out this Rock Golem creep camp here. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest quickly taken down. There goes a Mud Golem. A Peasant quickly taken down there, as the Spirit Wolves are now perhaps going to try to dive on in. HawK trying to get very, very aggressive. There is a bit of a deny. Is Archmage going to get to level 2? Yes, it does. But the Farseer picks up the Rune Bracers, the big item steal there, and getting a bit of that gold if it doesn't necessarily want it. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest has taken quite a bit of damage, now trying to stay alive here. Meanwhile, Farseer may get the last shot off. No, does not get it. The Forest Troll Trappers are able to do that there, as we are looking at the, well, Forest Troll Shadow Priest not getting denied, getting finished off by those Spirit Wolves. Coming back around here, we're looking at a Peasant getting denied once more. Grunt is low on hit points, but looks to be okay so far. No tech to tier 2 as of yet, as Peasants are currently getting replaced in number, as the Wolves are just continuing to rack up more damage. HawK's Peasant trying to deny that bit of experience, but that Peasant just did not do enough damage. There's that tech to tier 2. There is that Troll Headhunter now getting trained up, as well as the Farseer still putting in a bit of pressure while allowing a Grunt to, well, hang back here. Militia, well, no, not Militia, Archmage and Water Elemental looking to try and take down this Ogre Warrior creep camp, perhaps get to level, or closer to level 3 here, as the Archmage is trying to shoo away the Farseer and, well, a lone Farseer. Headhunters now going to be joining in on the battle here, 23/27 damage. However, low on hit points, only at 375. That damage, well, starts to stick overall once we start entering into AoE category. Archmage does have level +5 claws of attack, sitting at level 2. Going to try and finish off this Troll Trapper here. Should be able to make quick work of this, as a Forest Troll Berserker also being hired up, 28/37. Now, for all of you guys out there, well, Forest Troll Berserkers are I believe they're 3 supply units. Yeah, 3 supply units that deal 28/37 damage and have 450 hit points. These Troll Headhunters deal 23/27 damage, but once they upgrade to Troll Berserkers, they have more hit points than their, well, mercenary counterparts, and can also benefit from upgrades. Farseer trying to clear out the remainder of this Ogre Warrior creep camp. Meanwhile, the Archmage completely bypassing the Farseer off to the north here. This could have been a dangerous proposition overall, as the Farseer, down to 75 hit points, sells those Rune Bracers, but doesn't pick up anything else. does now have a potion of invulnerability as those Spirit Wolves are trying to retreat back. Archmage gets up to level 3 as HawK misses a window of opportunity to catch XiaoKai while playing on a very, very dangerous edge of a sword, so to speak, but able to retreat back home, heal up with this Voodoo Lounge, and now venture out once more. We should be looking at perhaps reinforced defenses after the spiked barricades are done, since we are at tier 2. Archmage is already here. Are we going to see some damage getting added onto that Farseer? No, we are not. Farseer quickly gets the heck out of that situation, realizing it does not want to take an auto attack from that Archmage. Let the healing salve do its work alongside that grunt. Perhaps we are going to also be getting the Berserker strength upgrade as well. There's that reinforced defenses to make sure that those Orc burrows do not fall victim to, focus fire from water elementals and that Forest Troll Berserker. Archmage picks up a Circlet of Nobility, Ring of Protection +3, as well as the Archmage trying to inch ever closer to level 4. We are getting up a Mountain King now. We should be getting up some Riflemen. Long-range rifle upgrades could be added. And an interesting build by HawK here. You can perhaps build a Lumber Mill off to the north here eventually, as the Farseer are going to try and test the waters, or an Illusion going to try and test the waters. Not much is really going to be done. Coming back down to the south side here, HawK now going after a difficult Rock Golem Creep Camp, and will be able to finish it off pretty quickly, as the majority of this creep camp now has Inner Fire. Footmen do not have Defend, even though every single one of these units does deal ranged piercing damage. Meanwhile, we are looking at some skeletal minions diving on in here. Dark Ranger as that second hero, a bit of a wild card. Dark Ranger as a second hero, and perhaps going for a go-wide strategy with skeletal minions, well, clogging up the roadways, allowing the headhunters to deal their damage. No tech to tier 3 as of yet. We are going into a bestiary, or dual bestiary, in fact, for perhaps, raiders or even Wind Riders. As the Archmage looks to back off here, Dark Ranger going after this Null Overseer creep camp. Dark Ranger coming across as the second hero from Orc is a rather unorthodox play. HawK on the other side of the map pretty much playing much more consistent here, as the Mountain King gonna try and go after that Dark Ranger and quickly focuses it down. All right, Shadow or Dire Wolves now joining in on the fight here. A little bit of damage gonna get racked up. Mountain King could have a little bit of a bad day. Water Elemental trying to join in on the battle, as a low hit point Rifleman gonna get taken down by the creeps. Farseer could be in a little bit of trouble. Are we going to have a Stormbolt? Yes, we are. Potion was used in time, though, as the Mountain King now needs to back away down to 122 hit points. Perhaps going to try and double back around. Has a Clarity Potion. Archmage, we're going to see a little bit of damage through the trees. There's a Chain Lightning finishing off that level 1 Mountain King, as he's used 2 very, very high profile or high value consumables to save that Farseer and take down a level 1 Mountain King. Archmage, however, could get taken down as well. There is down to 58 hit points. Gonna end up surviving a couple of purges onto that Dire Wolf, as we look at the Farseer will clear up the remainder of this Null Overseer creep camp. As the Priest join in on the fight and the Mountain King gets resurrected, Archmage should be able to make quick work here. We should be looking at a bit of heals as well, as we're looking to use that time wisely by HawK. Interesting Water Elemental summon, actually summoning behind. That's something that you rarely ever see coming across from that Archmage. Meanwhile, Mountain King going after the Ogre Magi's and these Forest Troll Berserker. Archmage will be staying at level, not trying to even get any experience, trying to give it all to the Mountain King, who is now sitting at level 2. Archmage uses up a Clarity Potion, could try to use up a Scroll of Regeneration as well once this creep camp gets cleared up. Yes, does use that Scroll of Regeneration, and now walking with those Priests. Hopefully the Priests don't waste too much mana trying to heal units that are already naturally being healed and will be healed out. Ogre Lord, there is There is a silence on that Overlord, pretty much lasting a long time. Dark Ranger gets Claws of Attack plus 12. That is a big item. Headhunter getting Storm Bolted, followed by a Thunderclap there. And now Wand of the Wind as a priest now tries to retreat back. Archmage gets up to level 5, going for level 3 Water Elementals after summoning a level 2 Water Elemental right there, as the Mountain King could try and Storm Bolt that Farseer. Farseer using a Cloak of Shadows during the day and doing a great job, as we see some Storm Bolts now going down as well. All right, there down goes the Raider. Priest could try and heal back up. Mountain King out of mana, not really in any danger there, as the Rifleman able to get off a couple of shots on those fleeing units. XiaoKai in a little bit of trouble here. Meanwhile, the Ogre Lord, remember, did drop that big Claws of Attack plus 12 for that Dark Ranger. So that Dark Ranger with those black arrows will really be able to rack up quite a bit of damage and perhaps get even stronger Dark Minions out here on the battlefield. 2 Dark Minions ready to cause a little bit of traffic jam issues, as well the Headhunters are able to focus down some of those other remaining targets. Down to the south side here, Watchtower going to be pressured and destroyed before it gets up and operational. But here we can notice that this Great Hall does in fact have spiked barricades. Footmen gonna be, well, taking a little bit of damage per attack if they are not careful. But more importantly, it actually drains the mana out of these priests pretty fast. Arcane Tower trying to hold back all of these dire wolves here. Farseer continuing to put pressure, summoning the Spirit Wolves past that Arcane Tower to get a decent surround, as we now see a Scroll of Town Portal inbound. Are the units going to get trapped inside there? No, they are not, as we see a quick Scroll of Town Portal retreat by the Farseer. All right, all of these wolves are just continuing to fight their way here. There's a couple of Dispel Magics again, as the Dire Wolf with those critical strikes able to rack up a bit of damage on the priest. Expansion down to the south side here. There we could see some upgrades to guard towers and arcane towers. There goes, well, a denied unit here, as we are now transitioning heavily into bestiary units with the Wind Rider and these Kodo Beasts. Interesting call, especially with Riflemen as the main unit being produced by the barracks right now. That is a lot of unarmored units that could have a bit of a problem. Mountain King trying to retreat back. There is no priest really nearby. They were all hanging around inside the base, now making their way down, not realizing a war is going on. That low hit point priest needs to get in a couple of heals. We're going to be looking at more damage. That one priest down to dead, giving up a dark minion, 15 to 17 damage. Wand of the Wind picking up as the Mountain King falls at level 3. HawK losing control of those 3 priests there, making a big difference. That 6 supply would have been more than enough to try and keep those units alive and well. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Kodo Beast currently up in the air here. When it lands back down, it could take a lot of damage, and the, well, Kodo Beast could try and devour a water elemental in order to get away, but, well, it wouldn't get very far with the Rifleman's focus fire. Archmage at level 5, very close to level 6 now. Going to try to continue to drop in more damage, trying to add in more damage to a water elemental as the Wind Riders get taken down. Archmage gets up to level 6, and we do see mass teleport already. Dark Minion is trying to add in more damage against some of these other units here, as the Farseer able to escape away at 60 hit points. Watchtower gets destroyed right as it was about to be completed, and now this Great Hall is not looking so hot. All right, more damage going to get racked up onto some of these peons here, trying to get some damage onto those peons as they are attempting to retreat away. There goes one peon down. We could see more peons getting taken down. 1 or 2 more shots there. There's a water elemental. Peon's going to get focused here, as we're now looking at a wave coming in from XiaoKai. XiaoKai going to do his best to try and hold on to this expansion. Meanwhile, water elementals need to fight their way back. We're looking at an ensnare onto a priest. He gets taken down quickly, as the Kodo Beast is going to rack up a large amount of damage. More healing getting underway. Mountain King still not resurrected. Archmage now trying to retreat back. He gets ensnared. No Staff of Teleportation or any survivability items. He is ensnared and in trouble. Archmage going to fall at level 6 here in just a second, and he does get taken down, giving a double level up to a Farseer and a Dark Ranger. Mountain King shows back up to the party and wonders what exactly he missed, only to say, "Hey, bro, where'd you go?" As the Archmage has fallen at level 6, and now that level 4 Mountain King has to deal with not only a level 5 Farseer, but a level 4 Dark Ranger. Mountain King is here, going to try and rack up a little bit of damage, perhaps get a Stormbolt off or a Thunderclap. Yeah, there's that Thunderclap. Arcane Towers finishing off that one grunt there as the rifleman trying to retreat back. No Arcane Sentry to allow sight onto those Shadow Wolves as the Mountain King is still working overtime to, well, defend this expansion location. All right, Mountain King looking to heal back up. Archmage needs to get a resurrection, needed a potion of healing or some sort of way to get out of that tight spot. A second Arcane Sanctum now being placed down. HawK and XiaoKai exchanging lead back and forth. A resurrecting level 6 Archmage that gave level 5 to the Farseer and level 4 to the Dark Ranger. As both sides now take a little bit of a break in the action, perhaps trying to build up their economies and stabilize. Both sides are a bit low on lumber. I am surprised to see that HawK does not have that Arcane Sentry, and with that will not find these Shadow Wolves until it is too late. More priests are being trained up. Perhaps we should be looking at some more upgrades here, as the Mountain King could have gotten a Stormbolt off, does get a Stormbolt off, but that Raider is just outside of range now. Mountain King continuing to fight here. Are we going to see a Thunderclap? We need to see a Thunderclap. There's a potion of healing. Why isn't it using a Thunderclap? Oh, silence is now still being applied here as the Mountain King, it was being healed up quite a bit and now needs to be healed up even further, down to 330 hit points. How can the silence is across multiple units as we see a mass teleport inbound by the Archmage. Archmage now giving precious mana not only to the priest but also the Mountain King. Mountain King has to be very, very careful here. Are we going to see a hold the door situation? Yes, we are. We see silence onto the Mountain King here. Both sides trying to fight their way through. There's a Thunderclap. Multiple priests getting taken down, and that is a big, big loss. Multiple priests lost here, and that means that the survivability of this army is now significantly less. Mountain King gets up to level 5 at down to 134 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal could get transferred. Yes, it does. And with that, the Mountain King ends up barely surviving and will live to see and fight another day. All right, this priest needs to run inside, perhaps get in some healing work on to this Mountain King here, who is already down to 150 hit points and climbing. 52 supply compared to 50. XiaoKai still mining out of his expansion, setting up a voodoo lounge just outside there to bring a little bit of home field advantage. Meanwhile, Shadow Wolves continuing to haunt all of these priests here. This could turn into a very big deal, as what is this? The Shadow Wolves have nowhere to really go. They're just holding position and, well, perhaps going to try and chase after some of those units. Do we see Arcane Sentry yet? No, we do not. We are now seeing a transition in the Spellbreakers as the Archmage is now in trouble. Archmage now going to get silenced here, and now perhaps trying to break free. Are we going to see a little bit of heals? Archmage going to go ahead and mass teleport. Is going to try and be able to get away. No, it is not. Once again, ensnare, the incessant ensnares of the Raiders, able to stop the channeling ability. And that may be the end. Mountain King may end up falling at level 5 as well. And Dark Ranger second, completely shutting down the human heroes, giving level 6 and now level 5 to the Dark Ranger. All right, so many hero kills, so many hero denies. And with this, it looks like XiaoKai should be able to just, well, micro his way through the last of this battle now. All right, Dark Ranger continuing to rack up more and more Dark Minions. Those greater Dark Minions, 16 to 19 damage on that normal attack, and that should be the end of it. Archmage trying to get resurrected, and once again, low on hit points, getting ensnared, and it is just going to get stuck here. This dual bestiary strategy working out extremely well. The Raiders able to just chain ensnare that Archmage in order to get the victory. Farseer is at level 6, Dark Ranger just shy of level 6, and it is the plus 24 attack plus level 3 black arrows that were really, well, generating all of these greater dark minions. Because of those greater dark minions, well, HawK was unable to do very much, and, well, those ensnares on the Archmage and Mountain King just ensured as the final nail in the coffin. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Please remember to like, subscribe, do all of that social media jazz as XiaoKai wins with the lower score. And one thing to add, the hero score throughout much of this game had to have been higher by HawK. It wasn't until the very end, after HawK had lost the Archmage and then lost the Archmage and Mountain King again, when we started to see high level Orc heroes. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. 6 heroes killed. Absolute blast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.